All right, let's go. Give me 65 is life. Okay. Defense Con attendance expected to exceed Invictus. Ooh, could that be a clue to something? That's what a little birdie said. Oh, okay, let's see. See something real quick. Bum, 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 bum. Okay.
Welcome to the ASOC Vehicle Retrieval System.
Says it's on the pad.
Goodbye.
What's going on here?
Your vehicle has been moved to our storage facility.
That was odd. I tell you, the last time when I started with 07, very early, 07. Last time I streamed, there was I had a cargo full of material that I salvaged from ships, derelict ships, and I was currently in proximity. I was within the radius of getting impounded, so it was impounded. And so I had to claim the ship, and once it was claimed, that cargo was gone. So I was like, okay, I'll stop here. And so I think a couple of days afterwards, I came back and pulled the ship again, and I noticed it said something, it was bricked, and I noticed that I called it from the pad, called it up onto the pad, looked inside, and lo and behold, the material that I salvaged was there. So I was able to pull it from the ship and place it inside the freight elevator, and there it sits to this day. Very strange. So we've been waiting for a patch, so looks like it's gonna take them some time. Like it's going to take them some time. Uh-oh. my sticks are not engaged. So yeah, it's a little confusing though. They mentioned something about your ship being bricked and inventory and things of that nature, but I'm still a little confused as to how that's going to actually play out. Oh, hold on. Yeah, I gotta fix my sticks. Beautiful. Let me take a look at them now. Okay. I better hurry too. This could be bad if I don't hurry. What's number 4? Hold on. Okay, that's working. The left stick is working, right? So I figured the left. Oy vey. It's hard to tell what the hell is what. Two. Pedals. Let's see what happens. Oh. Let's try the right order. Go in sequential order, because I can't read the descriptions. It's hard to make out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Try that. Nope. Now, just all I gotta do is just play it out. Movement, pitch. It's 4. I did some things to my PC, and if you move your sticks or the USB controls, yeah, you're gonna reset some things. Unless you use something like Joystick Gremlin. But if you know your controls, I mean, it's start resetting this. Get into space and I'll be okay. Okay. Oh boy. Let's see. Push it, push it, push it. Let's see what's going on here. Key bindings. That's me forcing it through the USB. Okay, I have thrusters on the left stick. That's good. Get out in space and I can fix them. I can fix them now. Quick little overhaul here. And host task. I'm gonna get movements in. Pitch. Yaw. Roll. Strafe up and down. The axis on my left stick, it's 90 degrees. I have a it's a elbow for the left. Throttle forward. That's again on my left stick. Cruise. There we go. Couple decouple. There we go. Boost. Speed limiter. Acceleration. There we go. Face brake. Yeah, this is like in my sleep, man. Know your controls. Cycle configuration. Press landing. Yep, it's pretty much back to normal. Master cargo. Master mode, which is going away. Jump drive request. There we go. Page quantum drive. Oh, it jumped over the void. Go ahead and save this. Okay, let's see if she's working. Oh, I'm in Z mode. Okay, there we go. I was in Z mode. It was like, it's working beautifully. Look at that. Roll left. Limiter. There it is on the left. I have a split throttle. And then if you look over here on the right, it goes from 99 to 0. You see the little orb right here. That's the split right on the throttle. Acceleration is all the way up and the limiter is working. It's perfect. And acceleration is working. Pitch. That's my pitch. Nose up and down, yaw. Right and left. That's my yaw. Works perfectly. And nav mode. Setting it to nav mode works perfectly. Okay. We're good now. Yes, indeed. All right. Let's get some work done. Because we are in the Great Wipe. This is the time of the Great Wipe. It's a grind situation for Star Citizen. All right. Good. Beautiful.
Quantum drive is now on.
All right. Beautiful.
Shield system online. Landing gear down.
Landing gear up.
Landing gear up.
Is my lamp technology kicking in? Okay, while I'm here, oh, stuff is moving. Those people are working. Okay. Okay. He's moving stuff. I'm going to set down and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna set up some things.
Landing gear down.
Be a little stealthy.
Landing complete. Your systems are offline.
Beautiful. Look at that. Beautiful scenery. Alright, let me get some things going too with my controls. Doing some work on the PC earlier. Maintenance, what have you. Lights. Alright. Light systems. Doors open, close, toggle. Okay, that's alright. That's good. Port lock. Toggle. That's working. Salvage. Oh, that was odd. You see that? That was weird. That button triggered something else. Or, let's see. Salvage. There we go. Toggle, fire. Okay, let me not. Toggle fracture. Good. Disintegrate. Toggle fracture should stay at 45. No, 43 now. Okay, interesting. Absolute beam spacing. Okay, Z-axis. That's right. My modifiers for left. That's correct. That's correct. Toggle left. Okay, yep. Toggle right. There we go. Should be good to go now. And if I look at my mining here, while I'm here, proactively do it. Switch Mining laser toggle. Okay, that's about right. The axes increase, decrease. Yep. Not much I really need to do. Everything's the same, so I'll go ahead and save this as 6 degrees of freedom, Star Citizen. Alright, now I can get to work.
Hello and welcome aboard your dream interplanetary craft. Your systems are online.
Lamp going. That person took off too, I believe. They're in the freelancer. There we go. Make it happen, Captain. Take off lamp.
Friendly fire.
Oh, that's VTOL. Let me set it in coupled. I need coupled. That's very important to me. Go to flight movement. Couple decoupled. There we go. Try it again. Okay, save it. Degrees of freedom, Star Citizen. Alright. I'm gonna stay in coupled. There we go. Oh, I gotta set my radar ping. Okay. And I drifted quite a bit, huh? I need my radar ping too. Let me set up my radar. Very important to me. HUD. Radar. Set up my ping. Scanning, activate scanning. Increase, decrease. Should be good to go. Weapons. I can mess with that later. Group 1. Group 2. Launch missiles. And launch, hold down. Launch multiples. I'm going to save this. 6 degrees of freedom, Star Citizen. Here's my ping, it's working.
Friendly fire.
Into salvage mode. Okay, here we go. Okay. Braid and cinch. I'm using both. A braid is on the right. Cinch is on the left. Go to gimbal. There we go. I can work the beam with a lever I use for mining as well. I can sweep, stay in one position. Actually, I can crouch a little lower. When you hit gimbal mode, it takes away your pitch and yaw. It's a trade-off. Ooh, I didn't realize I was that damn close to that. I gotta get my proximities down. The salvage lasers and the distance from the ship. I haven't gotten acclimated to that. As long as I've been salvaging, I'm not used to that. But I'm filling up. Cleaning up these ships, man. In this area. Abandoned ships. Turn it into UEC. That's right. I'll take this one off the board. Stream's looking good. They're doing some maintenance. Looking real good. Yeah, scales up to 1440. Looking good.
Friendly fire.
Okay. Alright, back to work. Gotta look at my proxy. Okay. ESCU. Okay, right beneath the little the scrape progression, you have those numbers. So okay, so what's the sweet spot? So let's see. 40. I gotta check. What's the proximity? 9 meters.
Friendly fire.
Let me see. What's not good? 5 meters. Okay, stay over 5 meters of the arms. The little curvatures, the 2 curvatures. There's numbers above that. So 5 is the magic number. You go to gimbal mode, concentrate. I can stay a distance and just work. Don't have to move as much. Do SCU. All right. Okay.
Friendly fire.
Using gimbal. and strafe with pedals. Yaw left and right. Minimum movement. Maximize efficiency here. Come out of gimbal mode and full mobility of the ship. You know what? The radar system, I think audibles will be good too. If you set like a passive radius, and if someone or something comes within that radius, you get beeps or some sort of warning, radar breach or something, alert, radar alert, incoming, something like that, that there's an audible or audio notifications, because you can be doing this, right? And if you set your perimeter for your radar, I would think that would be the advancement, some of the advancements with radar. Not that it has to be visual all the time, but probably a synergy of audio and visual. So your UI is something more that the UI or the pilot in a multi-crew ship could be a part of. So they can multitask on other things. So they're trained to hear audibles. And so they can look at something else on their screen, right? But this would be great for the audio team to have something or a feature that could be very helpful and very useful in that type of gameplay, especially for industrialists who are focused on just doing an operation, and so they're not tending to looking at the UI all the time. They're just focused on the job. But if you have parameters set, radar distances, and there's audibles that come off of that as objects penetrate within those radiuses, then you hear the audible and then you switch over to your UI to see what it is. That would be cool. I think that's a much needed and welcoming feature for the game of Star Citizen, especially with this level of depth that they're attempting to accomplish or capture, right? I'm going to put it on Game Ideas. And I laughed out about this before. Someone's going to comment, oh yeah, Star Citizen said they were already working on that. You're late to the party. I'm like, yeah, I am. Yeah, they were going to say that. I don't know why I put that on there. Yeah, they were going to, yeah, they've been said this 4 years ago. Yeah. You just waiting on somebody to add it in there to let them know that. Holy smokes. But nonetheless, I'm going to put it on there because it's these types of features that really help the gameplay shine, make it even that much more unique and in-depth. It's like a fun simulator, I would say. When I add the word fun, that's the arcade. It's a fun simulation. And it's almost cinematic because that typically happens in movies of sci-fi, and you're in ships and person working the radar, they notice something. They can't just make it out right away, but there's something there. It's an anomaly. You want that. Wonder 04, 07. Hello. Good morning. Early, isn't it? Oh, just after midnight. Nice. You're in the West Coast.
Friendly fire.
Or Pacific time. Yeah. Nice. Putting in work. Putting in work. Yeah, I know. Just from a standpoint of success, um, the servers were hammered. Um, servers were hammered for DefenseCon, but nonetheless, you still can say that it was success. It was a successful DefenseCon, and it's ongoing because in the next 6 days, I believe. Oh, wait a minute, I think the Anvil Odin is going on sale pretty soon, so that's gonna be incredible. People wanting, and that's the thing. I can't wait to see what the turnout is going to be. I can only predict, but that's going to be very interesting to see the number of players going for that ship. I mean, there has been people, saying, "Hey, I deserve the right to buy the ship." And I'm sitting there listening, like, huh? But yeah, I think it's going to be a big draw. I'd be shocked if it did not sell out. That would shock me because from what I'm hearing, uh, people really want the ship. It's, if nothing more, just bragging rights or just the fact that there's some who, as far as organizations, they're into the military aspect of the game, and that's just one of those items or features or ships that they must have to kind of put the cherry on the top of how they play the game with others. And you'd be shocked, but there are some people and orgs, individuals, they are really dedicated to that style of gameplay. They want to, they really want to do like a Sims, right? And play this thing out and have that option. But I truly think, the one thing that could really properly challenge that type of ship would be going into that Vandal territory. They hinted on, hey, they're coming into our system. What if we turn the tables and went into their systems? And I think the risk reward is so enticing to the, aspects of gameplay. And you're truly venturing in as an explorer. But at the same time, make no mistake about it, you're in the midst of danger. Wander, I would have to say, regarding the Dragonfly and upgrading to that ship, that's a win. Even no matter, Dragonfly is very iconic. I think it goes hand in hand with the early development and just the speeder bike. That's when you looked at it. That's from my lens. It's the speeder bike. It's the Return of Jedi. But based on its early concept, it was very novel. It was very giving a nod to being able to get on a hover bike, and the first time we've seen that we looked at it, it screamed Return of Jedi, and it was fun. But fast forward, there's other bikes that offer things where, the best defense is how quickly it can move. Dragonfly is not meant for a lot of quick movement. So, functionality, novelty, that's the combination. So, upgrading for just $20 to the Starlight, I think you put value back into your fleet. You put back to your fleet functionality that's going to uh, make revenue for whatever you do in the game. And I think once we really hit those milestones for crafting, the crafting of ships, expenditures, insurance, wear and tear, well, the hoplite is gonna be a moneymaker for you. So I applaud you for the purchase of that ship and turning that around and realizing, hey, it's novel. I'll always have a warm spot in my heart for the Dragonfly, but at the end of the day, I want to be able to go out and do something, and it matters, and at the same time, I'm able to upkeep with maintenance and wages and rates, you name it, the economy. I get to stay ahead of it a little bit, and that ship, it gives me that ability, and also provide a service to other players who I deemed are good friends in the verse. So you have those interactions, real-time interactions. Also, it's the mission givers as well. You're putting value back into your fleet. You're giving yourself purpose to do something differently, as opposed to you just look at the Dragonfly as, hey, I bought this a long time ago. It was cool, or this, that, and the other. But yeah, I really like the fact that they hit the mark on the Starlight too. Price point, everything, and it brings a little variation from the Starfarer. But also, it's gonna raise some eyebrows because there's owners of the Vulcan. But I think we've learned and we've witnessed how they'll take one ship, they'll have a concept ship, but then they bring out another ship with that kind of similar gameplay or feature. It sets it up for the other ships that still have yet to be taken off the shelf and put in our hands to actually fly it. So I think it will be a perfect segue for the Vulcan, and I think the hint to that is the Vulcan is probably going to grow in size somewhat to that medium size rank, because the hoplite, when you look at it, it's a perfect starter. It's perfect for just producing fuel for these ships that are flying around, starter ships and NPCs as well. Yeah, I was saying 60 to 70, and another person said to me they were thinking more on the lines that it was going to be $40 because, which made sense, because when you look at the comparison of, hey, that's an industrial starter ship, what else could be similar to that? And you think about, immediately you think about the Miss Prospector, and you look back, what was its average price? 120, 140. So it's like, oh, it falls into that line. But give credit where credit is due. CIG looked at it and said, you know what? We're going to keep it at this price point. It's going to be a starter. It's going to be a ship that you look at and say, hey, I would like to fly that, but it gives me purpose. But I can keep that ship. I can afford to keep it. I don't have to upgrade it. It's fun. It's going to always have a purpose. And then in retrospect of older ships or ships that are like, at the time it was novel, but because it was early concept and the way that the game has changed so much, it doesn't fit as well as I intended. 5-6 years ago, it would have been great, but now fast forward, it's not so much, and they're making ships so much better than they were a few years ago, and it's fitting in the lines of gameplay. It's giving me immediate value, so it's a no-brainer. I gotta get it. Exactly. It's a true starter ship for that price point. You know, it's falling into those lines of, okay, you want to get into Star Citizen? How about we get you not only into Star Citizen on this affordable, very affordable price point, but we're going to bring you in and you're going to be happy with the ship that you purchased initially, and it's going to give you gameplay. Yeah, it's a no-brainer. That one came again. That was another instance of on the lines of the Clipper that we were like, what is this? How did you know I needed this ship? Right? And again, that's the I think not as strong, but it's just as good. It's really good. And when you look at the price point too, it's one of those ships that you say, I like the design, I like the manufacturer. You have missions for me already. You have things to support my gameplay. And not only that, you revamped and improved an existing feature of refuel. So now I can go and practice that. I can also provide for my orgs, my friends, and help out and make money on my own. And at that price point, and I also have some items. Well, whether you're just starting in the game and you say, hey, this is a great start, I like it, or I'm looking at, I've been playing the game for a bit and I've just been wanting to find a ship or needing a ship that I can just want to play with and that will give me value. And so it's a no-brainer. No. Oh, shit. What happened? You know, I was too damn close to that. I told you earlier, I'm not accustomed to, and it's no one around. I'm not accustomed to the proximity of those arms. The UI does not give me good awareness. Learn the hard way. Yep, got caught up. I was too close. And don't you love that though? It's like these random things are so unscripted. It's if you got to get good at it. I just got to get good at it. Beautiful. It's even throwing my ship off balance a little bit. I'm gonna get an even number and then I'm gonna crunch that ship down, take it off the board. And 6-4. Get it to 7, even 7 units. I love that about the game. Those random things that happen that make you focus. I love it. It's a level of seriousness to it. Like it's a simulated situation. But it's still a video game. Gotta love it. It's a gaming experience, and you get some games out here. It's so scripted that you feel bad that you figured it out and you're cheating through it because you figured out the code. I wasn't sure if it was someone attacking or what. And I said it to myself. I said, hey, I'm not aware of my proximity with those salvage arms. I'm not. And now I gotta be more attentive and be more careful because this can happen. Oh, look, I'm wonky now.
Landing gear up.
I might die. Oh, crap. Oh, shit. I knew it. I knew it. God dang. I freaking knew it. I should have gave up. It's all good. But you know, it's we gotta wait for the Maelstrom system to kind of give us accurate numbers to that, Wander. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna scrape my own scrape. I'm gonna scrape my that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna salvage my own ship. I get to do it and recover my body. See, I don't have any items. Not to worry. I can this is gonna be pretty good. This is recoverable. I'm in close proximity. This is an opportunity. This is an opportunity right here. Now the question is, does the hopper, will it expend crates? If it does, and it's operational, I could pull those, in theory, I could pull those off the ship. But then again, if I call another salvage ship, it will brick that one. I think that's the idea behind it. It's super laggy now. I don't know why. It shouldn't be laggy. It's odd, man. I'm running a very high-end system. This is crazy how it's just these stutters. I shouldn't have any stutters at all.
Tram now leaving the station. Stand clear of the doors.
But I'm about to find out. Now it's making me check for a Windows update. There's anything out there? I doubt it. I think it's just the software and just the servers in general.
Now arriving.
Yeah, I would agree, Wander. Quite a bit of activity, and that's a good thing, though. Now, this tells me I would suspect that they said that earlier. The roadmap came out, and they were saying, well, one of the devs were stating, "Hey, we want to keep the features very low, so it allows us to prep for 4.9." And so they mentioned be looking out for that patch, because we really want to get that out there to you all. And in 2 weeks, you'll see the cards for 4.9 of what we're putting out there. Now they previously stated what they're going to bring out. Um, and of course, we're going to get a 4.1, 4.81, a 2, and a 3 before we get 4.9. But based upon the recent events and how they could not um, contemplate or plan for such a
Your
claim
vehicle has
insured
been moved
stuff
to our storage facility.
because they were not because they did not anticipate or had no awareness of how popular or that many people would come back to Star Citizen, or
Your
let
vehicle
alone
has been delivered to the
people
following
are.
location.
There's a buzz, right? More and more people are starting to play. People who haven't played in a bit are coming back,
Your please visit
and
us.
so it gives them a huge amount, a lot of a lot of information regarding, um, hey, what happens when you have a high population of people on the servers? When you know what happens? We're witnessing that. Not witnessed, but we're witnessing that. I suspect or would think they have been working on, things like the server meshing, the tier 0, but they formerly call it
Welcome to
quasi
the ASOP Vehicle
dynamic
Retrieval
meshing.
Center.
I would think at some point, well, they've already indicated that they're working on it, but could that very well mean that could be on the cards for
Your
4.9?
vehicle has been
To
moved to
me,
our
it would
storage
seem
facility.
like it would be really cool for them to, or for us to realize they have been working on it for quite a bit, and that's the next step that they're planning to release. They're planning to release it at 4.9. I think it would be most welcome,
Please
but
visit
also
us.
it would it's to say, hey, why not give it a go with that particular feature, because we're starting to see serious limitations right now, um, with either they have to buy more, purchase or lease more servers in order to get things running properly, or they need that sort of dynamic meshing technology, right? So that they can test the efficiency of these servers, right? To make sure that that technology is moving them in the right direction. I don't think it's going to be the
Welcome
main
to
solution,
the
but at
ASOP
least
Vehicle Retrieval
you have
System.
to give it a test to see how robust that feature is for the engine. And if it's viable, then it's time to, you know, get it out there and get working on it and getting it acclimated to what we're doing, right? Because it says bricked. See, this is weird.
Your
There's
vehicle
a
has been
bricked
delivered to the
version
following
of this
location.
ship, right?
Your
I'm
please visit
confused
us.
about the bricking.
Goodbye.
Oh, that's interesting, Wanda. That's a good point. So Chris was that was Chris's number. His bragging point number was, was it 6 or 700? I want to say 6. But if they're tipping at 650, we feel that. So if they can initially almost double right out the gate with the new
To the
meshing
ASOP Vehicle
technology,
Retrieval
dynamic or
System.
quasi dynamic, then I would say that's promising, because they're doubling, right? They're doubling their capacity for each server, which helps them, you know, overall with cost. They can probably keep the same number but double the amount that can populate those servers. And there's this other concept. I talk about it, but I'm thinking this is my understanding of it is with the well, I don't know if it's going to be a part of this version, but the dynamic meshing tech is supposed to kind of refresh itself, spin servers down that's been online for too long, that are showing signs of, hey, this server is decayed so bad, it's you gotta spin it down, and then we need to spin up some new servers. I, from the concept of what they sold, it sounds like it's automated. You don't have to spin them down by hand. It recognizes, and then also the other feature is it merges. Once it spins up, you have a server that's in charge of particular locations, and it can the newly spinned up servers can mimic or clone itself, be an identical server position of that authoritative server, and merge with it, share resources, and then once people dissipate those heavily concentrated areas, it can spin down. And then same thing with servers that have been up for quite a while, they have to spin down. So another one will spin up as a clone, merge with it, and then the other server that's been on for quite a bit can spin down. That's so I gotta hear if that has changed or not, or if that's been not the case. I'm very, very curious about it, but that's from what I've been listening to over the years. That's the concept that was sold to me. Um, now, granted, if they've come up with something else or if the process matured, who am I to hold that to them to say this is what you said? Yeah, we said this a few years ago, but we've been working tirelessly, and we've been working with it for quite a bit, and this is the latest iteration of it. So to me, it's like, okay, I can't hold you to that. Give us the newest of that system, right? The thing that works, the thing that's going to make the game better. So that's why it's like, okay, this is what they pitched a while ago. Whether I'm right or wrong, it's going to be interesting to hear what the new version or the new iteration, because they've changed the name. It's not dynamic server meshing yet. The first iteration is going to be quasi dynamic meshing. So it's not quite dynamic meshing. There's some elements that make it uniquely different from the full on version, which is going to be later on after that. So it'll be interesting to hear what entails that. What is its full functionality? What is it capable of? What is it limited to? Obviously it's not the full version, so it has its limitations. So again, it's going to be an interesting topic, and I'm sure that's something, I think, because we haven't heard from Benoit about it. There was some conversation that he talked about with latency and desync. He talked about, well, not him, but he was on the phone, and Jared said, hey, would you mind talking about it? And for the fact that he hasn't brought that up, and because that's a far-reaching subject matter, but I also suspect that it has a lot to do with the quasi-dynamic meshing. I kind of feel as like when he speaks, he may be addressing both aspects. I would not be surprised if he comes around and decides to start talking about the latency issues, right? And desync, that it also has things to do, or the feature that they're going to introduce will help with it. So I can definitely see him talking about the new meshing tech that's coming online, as well as how it's going to address or or kind to, or sort of work to mitigate the desync issues and latency to some extent. I would not be surprised at all. Hence why we haven't heard from him in quite a bit. We haven't. I guess the assumption was, hey, we're going to hear from him pretty soon when Jared said he got on the phone and said, hey, do you mind talking about desync and latency? And I think this is a big deal for him. I think this is something he's been studying for quite a bit.
Launch complete.
So I think before that 4.9 drops, and if it's on those cards, we see it in 2 weeks, I would suspect we'll definitely hear something from Benoit before they drop that card for 4.9. If the dynamic meshing is on that. How beautiful is that, huh? Whoa. They did say there's going to be cloud tech improvements. And when they say improvements, I'm thinking that there's going to be a boost to FPS performance as well. Because these clouds are nothing to play with on a system. It will chop those frames down. But still, it's beautiful, but it could be so much better. For me, they're a little noisy. You see that little staticky like stuff over there? It's like flickering. But yeah, they improved that, man. This still looks great. Don't get me wrong, it still looks great. But that never gets old. A little bit of realism never gets old. And you gotta appreciate it. Holy smokes. That's why I say it's time for base building big time. But yeah, Wanda, you're right. I mean, shoot, man, that 50 cap limit of those servers, and look where we are now. Improvements have been, especially now, improvements are not that far apart from each other. It's getting tighter and tighter. But again, I think it's hard to overlook, when we encounter the new features, the bugs are just as more, or even more robust than just them moving with this kind of pace that they're bringing in a lot of features and things that we're noticing. But at the same time, the bugs are just, they are not they are giving no mercy. But it's part of it. That's a part of the whole process. I think it should be a flow and ebb of, okay, we're going to drop these features. There's going to be this period of, hey, we got to really reel this stuff in and really get into a stabilization mode. But then also you want to kind of pace things or stage things in a certain way that you get the features that's needed. Sometimes it's a needed thing where you have to get certain, once they're ready, certain features have to come into the game. So you kind of put those bug related issues on the back burner, especially the ones where the community can expose if it's basically a workaround that, and they're great. I got to give credit where credit is due. The community is great with finding these workarounds so that the game isn't game breaking. And I think that's the one thing when you talk about we got to get certain features in. But if it's something that's game breaking, they got to do this hard pause and really, or try to set it up where the hero teams can knock it out on the engineering side. But yeah, I think it's a cadence, it's a pace, it's about what needs to go in versus, hey, fix this right away. This is annoying, as opposed to game breaking. So they got to find that balance between all those things. But at some point, there's going to be a ton of features. But then once those features go in, I think it should be the things that they've done in the recent past, where they have, oh, this is the time for optimizations, or QOL, right? Our process now is QOL. We're going to adhere to that and get the game in a state where it's playable. And I think it's a season for that. But there's also a season for when certain features have to come in. I think those of us who are looking at it objectively are also learning the process of development for this particular game. This game is still very unique, but we're also at the same time learning about aspects of the game development process. Let me see if the hopper is working, man. Oh damn, can I get in there? Oh, hold on. Let me see if I can spin this thing around the right way. Don't get killed. That was the whole point. I was going to try to see if I could. Okay, set it down, set it right. There we go. Oh, snap. Yes. Do I go in this way? It's the right side? Let me see. Damn it, it's the wrong way. No power. Let me find my body. There he is. Handsome devil. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Looting myself. Can I take these? Oh yes I can. Am I pulling it? I don't think I can pull from here. Oh, wait a minute. Or that. Is it moving? Equip. Undersuit. Hold on, hold on. Yeah, I don't think I can take any more. That shit. Okay, I think I'm done. Looting view. And now there's nothing there. Okay, I'm done. Look, let me go ahead and salvage. Oh, what am I holding? Oh yeah. Here we go. Yeah, servers are taking a hit. Um, yeah, it's time now, Wander, for them. It's definitely time for dynamic meshing. Whatever tier or whatever iteration it is, it's time for it now. Which get ready for more bugs. Worst case scenario, right?
Launch complete.
It's a necessary evil. What are those things? Target is shielded. So let me see if I can fracture. I'm just gonna munch it. Disintegrate it. Be done with it. Pixie dust it. Dust it. I know. Exactly. I think that's yeah, those are definite improvements, and that's a great point of looking at that detail. They got to do better. It's got to be in a dead state, or whatever we want to call it. It's got to be, because okay, I tried to activate the door and there was no power. So where's the power coming from? How's the shield still? Yeah, that system has to be. It's something broken, or it's a design issue. No doubt about it. It shouldn't have been shielded at all. Okay, let me see if I can break this one. Is it shielded? Okay, it's gonna fracture. Good. This is gonna fracture. Also, for me, I think the explosions are way over the top. See, that's way over the top. That's just my opinion. So, exactly. And it's like fracturing, so it should just be little minute explosions. And I think it would help with just overall performance. It doesn't call for that. And those little subtle details, it means it would mean a lot. Because right now, I think it's way over the top because you're salvaging, you're fracturing, you're actually using something, or whether it's vibration or some technology to break it, not cause an explosion. It's already a dead ship, right? No, you know. Now, if there was levels of highly a lot of quantanium or fuel on board, something of that nature, I don't know, but make it a little more subdued. I would say it would be a nicer touch detail because we're just salvaging. Now I'm watching the arms like crazy. Now I'm looking at those little arcs on the side. They're like right. I'm looking at these arcs here. Those are the arms. And see, I'm looking at these distances now. So I'm keeping it at 10. I don't want to make that mistake again. I'm learning. Of the trash pile. Is that over here? I don't think that's actually, that's a prop. Like right there, that's, but what I would love for them to do is actually place ships in a pile and um, even get the SRV involved and then start to dump ships in places like this. So it's a huge ship dumpster dive. That would be very cool. And I would say, how do you manage that? A certain number or threshold that it will hold, or a maximum. And so the SRVs in concept could still bring them, but then to keep those numbers in a certain way, it hits that threshold, then it disintegrates automatically, right? But they still get paid for it. I would love to see this replaced with actual ships, and it's a great dumpster dive. And you want to add some little extra gameplay to it. Let's say, like in the ways of mining, you use the scraper to fracture, and you have to be careful up to a point. You could set off a chain reaction of ships that could all explode, and then thus removing them off of the derelict ships, you get to move more off the playing field, especially if it's like make sure that there's no lag or tech debt. involved. And it would also give that level of danger in regards to that mechanic as well. I mean, mining has it. Where's the danger for salvage? You know, you got these pretty big Hollywood style explosions, but there's no, it's not going to bother you. So how about, you know, you're doing salvage at a dumpster dive, and you got to be a little careful how you fracture. Fracturing could set off a chain reaction, especially if a starfarer has not come in and siphoned the fuel from those derelict ships. Hopper is almost full. There it is. It's full. Gonna empty it out.
Landing complete. Your systems are offline. Welcome aboard your dream interplanetary craft. Your systems are online.
Fill 'em up. Boxes are not cooperating today. Oh gosh. I think it's because the door is open. They're floaty. They're acting very floaty. Let me close it. See what happens. Trying to mash them in very tight. Get them in tight so have enough room. Maximize. Maximize my spacing. There we go. Come on, act right. Come on now. It's behaving like it has no weight. And there's atmosphere on the ship. Oh, look at that. Oh, I don't want to crash into it, Wanda. I get what you're saying. Do not go near it, man. It's not worth it. Seriously. I'm wondering if I set one, I'm going to bring this back a little bit. And then I'm going to try something because it always like to slide into where the track is, which will block it. But I'm going to try something. Okay, so if I set that on top of it and put more weight on it, see, I'm not blocking. Oh, stay still, you. Okay, now I can zoom. Oh, that puts me in the way. Hold on. Let me try something here. Go the other way. I love that the Vulture has multiple entrances and exits. I don't want to sit down. I always work from the corner by the hopper and do the back of the ship first. Oh shit, what is that?
Landing complete.
Is that someone throwing a box? Hold on. That has happened before. It doesn't like that right there. It's on the track. It likes to slide. Thing is jammed. Okay, let me work the back. Work in the back. Okay, it should be emptied. Yes. It's one. Hold on. It's one of what? Oh no. Yeah, we're just trying to find ways to max it even more. And it was like I was finding those little weak spots that would prevent it from filling all the way up.
Launch complete.
I think I consumed the caterpillar. Let me see about what's left of this. Oh, change that to a braid. So I'm using a braid and cinch for both.
Friendly fire.
Scraping away.
Friendly fire.
One day, 3.6 million. They're nearly at
Grabbing the materials. I remember it was one time where you would have to watch the counter to see if the materials were adding up, and then you would look and say, nope, it's not working. Fracturing. Almost there. Quarter of the way. Oh, it's gonna be a big explosion. Over the top. All right. 75%. 85. 95. 98. 99. 100%. Woo! Hey. It fractured. It fractured. I'll scrape material here. Get an even number. Four 4.8. I think there's a bug where this starts over if you fracture something. I remember it was a bug. Let's see. Yep, it's still present. You fracture, you can start to scrape all over again. You get the double dip. Yeah, I wonder if you fracture, you can go back and scrape that part. I'm still getting material from it. So let's test that theory again. I'm going to fracture that raft, right? Fracturing. And then it should, in theory, like I said, I'll be able to go right back and scrape it. And the closer you get to an object when you're fracturing, the faster the process will go. Maybe that could be the danger factor, like mining. It's a slower process. It goes really slow if you're at a safe distance. But if you get in closer, you can ramp it up. And if you're too close, it shouldn't destroy your ship, but it should give damage that would cause you to have to do repairs on your hull, right? The risk and reward. I like that. Look, I'm scraping again, Wanda. Look, brand new. You see? The material resets itself. I think this is again, once we get Maelstrom in, which will reflect proper damage, this is going to go away. I think Maelstrom may be far more reaching than we suspect. It can calculate weights pertaining to the onboard cargo that you're carrying. It will calculate that. So that theory of, hey, you have a certain size ship and it's full of cargo, and you're on a proper planet with gravity, you may not be able to take off. You may have to unload some of that cargo to allow you to take off. Maelstrom will be able to implement that. Look, more material. More materials. Hey, I'm scraping here. In this piece. Yeah. Scraping away, baby. Material. And it's counting too. 8.5. Correct. Yeah, so it just needs the maelstrom system to keep that damage state sustained or persistent. A lot of important things are coming down the pipeline. I'm going to go ahead and break this down now. I have an even number for what I scrape. But that's the 11 yield. What's the yield for this? 15. Hold on. Yeah, okay, 4.4. I don't want to waste materials, right? You want to look at your numbers of your yields. So that should fill it up. And the overage is 0.6, so that's pretty good. I don't waste the other material. So with this, you can move closer and speed up the process. There we go, and now it's full, right? I'm gonna make some room in that hopper again.
Landing complete. Systems are offline. Hello and welcome aboard your interplanetary craft. Your systems are offline.
Let me try something real quick. Oh. Okay, here we go. Clear the hopper a little bit. You see that battery that was in? Look at that. That's the battery for the they're getting ready for the battery. It looks like it's a battery piece there. For the tractor beam. It's coming. Yeah, it's right there inside the cartridge. There's the cartridge filament. Make more room and grab more material out there. I can pull this one towards me. Hmm. Sometimes we gotta drop it. See, the filament is right there in the the battery. You can see where it's gonna fit. There it is. I got it to work. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Whichever way it works, man. However it's gonna work. No, it's jammed. It's on that belt there. On that track. That's okay. Uh-oh, don't kill yourself, man. Don't kill yourself. It's okay. Cut my losses. I'm just gonna get the rest of the material in the hopper. Here we go. Okay.
Launch complete.
I did pretty good because it was full. It's only one there. Damn, that's good, man. That's pretty damn good. And I'm cleaning up one ship at a time. I'm cleaning the verse up, one ship at a time. Not bad. Now, one thing you got to be really careful about, you don't want to get the ship impounded, get in close proximity.
Shield system online.
You do not. There it is. That's just 10. Cool. That's gonna fill it up. And I think you can scrape too while it's disintegrating. I'm not gonna push my luck. There it is, and it's full. What left the Merlin? I'm just gonna scrape this, get it out of the way. Just clean up the servers. Yep. I think you have to fracture that. Bust it up. There it is. Easy. Clean it on up, man. Just done. Oh crap. Oh wait a minute. Somebody's down there working. I think Buddy's working. See him? Okay, I'm gonna leave him alone. No, man, he's doing his work. I'm doing my work. Not gonna bother him. Not be a jerk. He's down there working. You see him? He's getting those boxes, man. He's getting it done. That's his ship right there. I'm gonna leave him alone, man. Fellow citizen. Let's make it happen, Captain. Let's make it happen, Captain. Let's make it happen, Captain. All right. Get back.
Shield system offline. Landing gear down.
Yeah, people are talking about the Tiburon, man. It's doing its thing. The moneymaker. Yeah, this is the part I meant to talk about. You making your approach back wherever it is. You do not want to get impounded, as you can potentially lose your cargo. I want to make sure I'm well above the landing zone, then descend down. I can't risk that.
Quantum drive is now on. Quantum
And
drive
like I said earlier, I thought it was lost, but it was bricked. And then I realized, I found out it was on the ship. Like, what? Oh, it's obstructed. Yeah. Oh man, I gotta clear out. Yeah, the nav system is gonna be a little touchy, man. You see what the problem is. Probably it's a little more complicated. Or should I say it's complicated. You have to, I think, oh boy.
Quantum drive is now on. Quantum drive.
I don't know, I guess the consequence is you you fast quantum into like a moon or planet. I think there's a system that will slow it, stop it, or move it out of quantum at a certain proximity. But outside of that, just move into your open spaces and watch your radar and get close as you can to that location or your point of interest. But yeah, I think it's a little more complicated.
Quantum drive is now off.
All right, let's see. There's my marker. There I am, right there. Here we go. So I'm gonna make sure I am not gonna get impounded.
Quantum drive is now on.
I refuse to get impounded. Okay, here we go.
Quantum drive is
So what I'm gonna do, I'm staying high above atmosphere. I'm not going to descend or make landing zone right there. Staying at the landing zone area, staying well above the planet or the city. I am not going to get a impound. I refuse. I refuse. Yeah, here's the key, Wanda. I'm showing you the key right here of how not to stay high above. There's like, if you see those dots, it's like starting from the first one, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 dots, and there's 6. Stay between 5 and 6. The lowest you should be at 5. And once you're just above it, then start your descent. Because it's not worth it. It's not worth getting fined, especially if you put in all that work and you're going to get fined and impounded. And then you may have to claim the ship. And all bets are off.
shield system online.
Yeah, I'm right above the station. Turn on the lamp at night. Love it. Love me some lamp at night. ATC, act right. Yeah, I circumvented the impound for sure. Oh, it's a queue. I've seen where it gives you a queue and then your hanger marker still comes up.
Warning, you are leaving the safe zone.
Oh, no, come on. Cut it out. Now they're giving me the safe zone crap. No, no, I have cargo. You're not going to burn me on this. There it is. Up, right there. Turn around. Right there.
Warning, you are leaving the safe zone.
Oh my God, you gotta be kidding me, CIG. I'm going in this damn hangar. Make it happen, Captain.
Landing complete. Your systems are offline. Hello and welcome aboard your dream interplanetary craft.
Go ahead and fill up. It's not too bad. Not bad of an expense. Not a lot. That's half of their starting money. They're gonna like, what the hell? Yeah, I think, you know what, new player experience. I think that you're bringing up a good point for potential leniency on learning the game. I am up, unknown. Yes, player leniency with that reputation system. I think that would be good for the window of starter base players. Maybe instance that experience for them so that they're in this kind of like fishbowl of gameplay, which is instance, and they mission up prior to getting out there, and then they get the warnings of, hey, you are now a citizen, and now this is what's going to happen, and the danger is out there for you, citizen. Keep your head on a swivel. And most of all, 07. That would be pretty cool. Introductory. Hyperion mission over and over. Oh, nice. Yeah. And that's pretty cool to say that, and it's a testament to what they're going to do with mission givers going forward, right? I think it's going to be pretty nice. And if it becomes your moneymaker, FPS, I think it fits into the guild or narrative of being a bounty hunter as well. It's a natural fit. Incorporate that into bounty hunting. And the bounty, what if the bounty has the blueprints? Right? And if you accidentally kill them, you lose the blueprint, but you bring them in warm, you know? Bring them in warm, then it's just like the Mandalorian, you know? No different. You get the blueprints. And you bring them in cold, you get blue. If you follow the mandate of cold and warm, you follow it to the letter, you get awarded your blueprint. It shouldn't be automatically handed to you. But if you start taking out the higher end of like NPCs, syndicate members, you get better and more robust types of blueprints. I'm in my hangar. That's why my voice is kind of. It's a big place in here, y'all. I'm serious. I'm in my hangar. I'm on my. Oh boy. Let's make it happen, Captain. Got some boxes in here today, man. Made some loot. Oh, 07 rocket. Made some loot, man. Drake did it again. Woo! Million boxes. Oh, I waited on that. Some weird stuff was happening. We're supposed to be getting a new fix, and I think it's a little more complex, a little more involved. But also, they're going to bring the servers down to bring some hot fixes server side. So if you're going to play, you better get in. And I think they're going to start to take them down 7 a.m. some sort of UTC time. Oh man, 6 to 9 mil a day unknown? That's ridiculous, man. That's insane. I like how you do it though. Can't hate the game, man. Can't hate the player. Why is it off? The aim was off. It was weird. I'll set it to auto. There, should kick in as auto. Let's see if it's working. Nope. Like you gotta get it like so and hit auto. It jammed up. Damn it. I'm standing in the way. Okay, it's working now. Nope. I thought it was auto. It was set to auto. And more to go. Lag, dude. What is it registered to you? Oh, it's trying to grab the vulture. That's odd. And it's trying to do that. You got about 6 to go? Yep. Oh man. The cost of your pants. A flight suit. How are you liking those? That's mainly for like your FPS groups so they can pull more G's. Which is gonna say something about these little enhancements they're adding to the flight model. And I think it's just that little bit of oomph that adds to more layers of what advantages can I get out of this and what I'm going to do to grind to get and keep those advantages. So it speaks to the competitive edge as well as being able, the viability of combat too, and having the tools for combat. And I mean, it applies to real life too, right? It is about the tools of combat and utilizing the tools and to be the best you can at what you do, at your craft. And even to the extent self-preservation in the game. People do it not because they look at the competitive aspects, but they just want to say, hey, I'm going to make it hard on you. If you want to attack me, I'm just not going to roll over. Yeah, that would be interesting. What would I think of to add those enhancements or bonuses, right? I think in our journeys of doing the work, putting in the grind, and you come across, and I would hope to incorporate NPCs in this, where you create these relationships, you create this reputation in getting the job done, and you kind of navigate with these or cooperate with these NPCs that give you these labor intense jobs that you fulfill. Then the incentive from that is, hey, your reputation is preceding you. I've been in this business for quite a while, and I want you to have this because you've shown aptitude, you've shown that you are the type that will stick with the job, and you've shown that you're someone I can depend on. And it's incentivized by the work you put in, and it shouldn't be that instant gratification, but it should be more so of you really put time in, and then what it does when you fulfill that, it should be where their friends, you're introduced to their inner circle or their friends who are are influential because you have a high reputation, and then it's only incentivized even more. But you really got to put the work in, because it should be not the instant gratification or the small, minute items, right? If you really put it in the grind, you should see some substantial gains as far as the materials or the tools that you are provided with. And then all of a sudden people are like, how'd you get that? Dude, you don't want to know. I really put in work for this. And they shouldn't be just given away like it's a anticipation prize, but something of, hey, if you're going to really get into this and you're going to grind it because you love it, then it's an automated thing of you're introduced to these high-level NPCs that's rare. They're rare when you come across them. And they're far few between, right? And then it's also a thing of the randomization. It's randomized. Everyone's not going to get the same type of person, right? The same type of payouts. It's going to be randomized. And so it brings value to what you've earned in the game. I think that's the way to kind of set it apart from, you're not making it cookie cutter, but you're making it unique to the classification of the job and how you do things. And so it's a certain respect of the craft, a certain pride of the craft that you have to adhere to. And so when you meet other actual players, they totally get it and they're all into it. And they see those variations and those differences and respect it as it is. And then it opens the door for trading as well, because you might use this item for quite a while, and then this person have not, or you look at it this way: each member of that party or group have these particular items that they've used, and they say, I want to try something different, but all those items have a unique value. So it's, the value is at a high point where it would be a fair trade between the unique items. I think that would be pretty cool. I'm missing one more paint for the Aurora Mark II. Wasn't that a great design? And I think if the only thing you can say is, hey, they took the wings of the Scorpius, how dare you do that? If that's the only thing you can say about it, well, guess what? Potato. I mean, when you look at it, it comes from the family of Robert Space Industries. And it's one of those ships of, I like the way it looks, I want to fly it, but I want to carry a little cargo, or I'm flying through Pyro to pick some things up, or I encounter some things. I can shore it up for, better shields, better weapons, because it's modular. It's just the fact of the matter that you can change the parts out to do a little bit of that, makes it a very desirable ship. And it's just a starter. But it's greatly designed, and it's fun to fly. It is. It's discreet. If you need to do things that are discreet and get things done, you can with that ship. But I think as far as the game mechanics, one of the things that makes it really interesting is the wings, going back to the wings, because it's no secret that the devs talked about, we're going to get atmospheric flight. Yeah, you got some sort of version of it, but they're talking about a very improved, fulfilled experience when they introduce it to the new flight model. And so imagine waiting and you don't get something to kind of say, okay, I want to experience that, and you miss out. And I think the Mark II is one of those ships where it's going to take advantage of that, or you're going to really enjoy flying in atmosphere with that ship. I think that's one of the allures of it. And, the things they talked about, especially with ships having like generational changes. And I think that's a gameplay mechanic, but I think it's a real life thing too, because you look at the ships that's on the shelf and you look at the current state of ships that they're making, they've dramatically changed how they are building out these ships and coming up with these ideas and working with other teams to incorporate the best aspects of gameplay. And so I think the best idea out of that is coming up with this generational change like the Mark I, Mark II. And I think what got me was I saw the Hornet, the original Hornet. It was this tanky. But now I respect it more, because now with crafting, you might want to keep it tanky depending on your situation. But when they introduced the Mark II, I'm like, holy crap, man, that's a beautiful ship. They got me a while ago with the Hornet Ghost. Like, man, what a design. And I've always been, I wouldn't say a fanboy, but woo, very close. I love the Anvil brand, right? I really do. And that Mark II of the Hornet was just, it's iconic for me. And knowing that is the quintessential ship that started it off with Chris advertising Squadron 42 way back in the day, I really dig that ship. And I'm happy to have it. And so I totally get it with, having the Mark II, and I have the Mark I. And again, real life, that was my starter ship. One of my starter ships in Star Citizen was the Aurora. So yeah, it's fun. They're having fun, or it seems to be. I mean, they're really taking care of their craft. It's really the forefront for the game company, right? The ships, and who'd have thought, man? When we had the early concept of the ironclad, and it was like, whoa. And it was just simple, man. I mean, no, it's not. I mean, it's just. It was a simple decision to make when you saw the ship and you said, "Holy smokes, amazing! I know it's going to be a good ship." It has not disappointed at all. If anything, it's exceeded. Now, here's the curious part: what are the sales are like, or what? How well did the Ironclad and the Ironclad Assault? How well did it do in sales? I'm curious about that. I cannot hear any really bad issues or things going on with that ship. Right? I think one guy said the door was 3 centimeters off, and they pointed it out. I was like, wow, that person was highly detailed. They were really looking at that ship through and through. And it reminded me so much of when they introduced the hangar module for the first time. You literally walked your character up against the wall and like looked at it as if you were looking through a microscope, and just standing there in amazement, virtually standing there, but sitting at your desk in amazement of the details. And all you could think about was, man, I can't wait to see what my ship is going to look like in this beautiful hangar. Yeah. So, yeah, what they're doing on the ship side of things, it drives a lot. I think it allows the player to, and I'm thankful that it's a good thing that they give us flexibility with these ships to trade them out, melt, whatever you want to call it, and upgrade and do things. Oh my gosh, what? That's insane. Yeah, that's gonna be an interesting bug to fix. Because, yeah, it seems like it's almost like it needs to do a switch off. Or the drives have to kind of like the module comes together, the drives have to come together or sequence together or something. It's very interesting how bugs will do it's interesting how bugs will change intended game mechanics, and you got to figure out why is it doing this. Yeah, it's a tough task. About 36 there. Here we go. And let's go ahead and activate. Yeah, 36 right there. 36 total. All right. And that's just move over to warehouse and containers, scrap. These are from what I've been 131 containers that I've just been, scraping from using the Vulture. 131 ready to sell. I'm just sitting on UEC, man. Don't have to spend it right away. And I hope that's how the economy works. You can sit on things and you look at the commodity boards and you look for that right time to sell. Like, holy smokes, that's going to be amazing, the economy system, and sell accordingly. Yeah, I think you're onto something unknown. The two separated, or the two individual drives, I think. But you know what? You make a good point. You make me think about the words you're saying. It makes me think of this. Let's say they are connected. Could the solution be when you go into quantum, the drives are synchronized to activate in quantum at the same time, as opposed to, okay, I'm activating one, and one is activated in quantum. The other one is in SCM. So I think it's a switching and a connection of the two. They synchronize. So once the command modules are actually united or connected, then so should be the same for the modules if there's two individual modules. So the command module will control both aspects of the quantum drives. So you go into nav mode, both are in nav mode. You go to SCM, they both stay in SCM. A synchronization as you process between nav and space combat maneuverability. Wanda, have a good night. '07. But they are supposed to not be in sync. The command module ship components aren't supposed to be functional when docked with the ironclad, but when detached, they turn on. Right. But see what I'm. Yeah, that's a concept, but functionality, it could be very well the opposite. That's hence why. What's the cause and effect? One is dominating the other, or they're getting draw calls. As they get draw calls, it flips over. So if you connect and you do one command, they function in unison. But when you separate, that's a different ball game, right? Then it's unified. It not unified. It's functioning on its own, because it's just the command module. So it should be in a dead state once you disconnect. In other words, what is that term they use? Is it decouple? Yeah, it decouples or something like that. Benoit used that term a lot when he was explaining server meshing for the first time. I think that term was it decouples or something like that, or it stores. Functionality should be decoupled or it's stored. But if it's connected, in order to not have it bug out the way it does, maybe it needs to function in unison. As a programmer, I'm thinking that would be the logic behind it, so that you get consistency in its functions, right? Because if one goes in nav mode and the other one's in SCM, that could be the result of why it detaches that way. But if they're in synchronicity from the command module, it's slave to the command module, and whatever the command module does, it mimics it, so that there is no alteration in functionality. Oh yeah, it's across the board too. Yeah, and I think going forward, John Crew mentioned that it's a tick off the box for the Endeavor. So this is going to be great metrics for the Endeavor. But here's the other thing too.
Welcome to the
Back in Xi'an, China, they talked about going underwater. I was ecstatic because I was talking about going underwater since 2014. that same mechanism, you have a ship that will be that can connect to a submersible and it drops it in the water, right? There's some buoyancy on this particular ship, and then the interlocking parts are at the floor of the flying ship that will take it to water, and then the docking mechanism is at the top of the submersible. Oh, I can't wait. Oh, they removed it on the command module or the ironclad. They removed it and it solved it. Okay, that was smart. That was very smart. So basically, you're just taking away the functionality. So there could be several approaches to make it work. Mine, that was one I thought of where they work in unison together. The other one is it connects, and then that one should go dormant. It should go into a state where it's not being read once it's connected. A command or a script that says, "Hey, when the command module is connected, the jump drive is dead," or to that extent, it's offline. It's permanently offline. But when or should I, it's the opposite. So when it connects, it's online, but when it disconnects, it goes offline. And I think it's just a matter of writing the code. I think that's what it comes down to. Examining the road, the code, and then testing the gameplay functions.
You'll please visit us again. Goodbye. Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System. Your vehicle has been moved to our storage facility.
See, I don't understand this concept of bricked right here, right? Yeah, I'm lost with the brick concept.
Please visit us again. Goodbye. Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.
Let me go back to Drake. I want to see what that means. I'm gonna. I don't understand the concept of brick. There's the assault. It's brick. There's the one that says retrieve. Then this one is bricked. Do you know how to remove it? I think you can. It's not physical. I think it's through the Moby glass, right? You disconnect it through the Moby glass,
Please
correct?
visit us again.
Because if I, oh, you mean, oh, you're talking about, oh, I was, I thought you were talking about the jump drive. You're talking about. Let me see if it's in the Moby glass. Yeah, I don't know how to remove it. Is there a? See, there's the second one. Okay. Oh, that was weird. I was able to go to the repair and refuel area on the Moby glass. So if this was, let me see the first one. This is the second one, right? Is it through the? I'm thinking I would have to go through the ASOP terminal, right? Let's look. Yeah, so it would have to be through here. I thought I might have seen a
Welcome
tick or
to the
something on here.
ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
Okay, let's go back. Unknown. I don't want them just lingering around. So it's here, right? Um, ensure. Do I have to ensure loadout to make sure this goes away? Okay, highlight it. I don't see anything. Show local ships. Okay, right here. You select your local, and then you can scrap, right? So, and it says bricked. So scrap. Yep. Confirm. Okay. Anything that says bricked, then it's got to go. Scrap. Brick. And then, yeah. So this only. Well, you can scrap a lot of stuff because it's like you have a capacity of 25, so you can scrap, so you can bring more ships to your local as well. Yep. Yeah, I thought I saw that earlier, and then I forgot about it. So that clears everything up. So I think I can untick that, and it comes back. Yeah, so it's like hands on. So it's like, okay, what doesn't belong there based on what happened. And then also the insured loadout. The question is, do you do this before or after? See, they want almost 60 grand in Alpha United Earth credits, cost of claim for all of this, but then where's your cargo? I guess you want to do that once you get cargo on your ship. That's a lot. Holy smokes, man. I know, no, I know, right? For sure. And then there's the command module. So let's see this again. Um, isn't that strange where it just disappears because it recognized that it's here? See the command module. Isn't that a little odd? When you take it off of here for local, it shows up right there and it says claim it. I don't get it. Oh yeah, like add like if you want to, for example, for mining, if it's a prospector, I love to enhance it with the new modules and the new laser mining head, then I'll insure it. Or if it's a ship that has cargo on it, I guess you use insurance to secure it, that as well.
Please visit us again. Goodbye.
But how effective it is, I don't know. It's interesting. I can't say whether it's good or not. I'm getting accustomed to it. Yeah, that's the thing. I had a paint job for the assault, and I'm still waiting for it to come through. And they said it's working. I'm thinking I need to do a character repair or something, right, in order for it to work. I'm thinking I might do that, or just wait for the patch. Just gonna wait for the patch. Definitely do that. You did a character repair. Did it help with your paints? That'd be interesting. I need to do that then, because I'm not I do not like the banana color of that assault, the yellow. I want that military green, man. That looked righteous. That looked righteous. But yeah, impressive ships by far. Very impressive ships. I think another one. Everyone is not crazy about the alien ships, but that Gactac Raylan off the freaking charts. That's another one that's going to be a big money maker. And not to mention by November, I can't believe it, the Galaxy. But I kind of suspect that the Star Lancer BLD should be out. No one's been saying anything about it, but that's the base building. That's the partner to the Star Lancer attack, the Star Lancer BLD. But here's one thing I really, really hope that we'll see with base building, that each manufacturer has their thing, and that's why we love it. That's the part of the game we really enjoy. But it would take it to another level if you had your base building ships create its own style and brand of that kind of base. So when you see it, oh, that's consolidated Pioneer base build. Oh man, that's the RSI Galaxy base build style. Oh, that's the MIS consolidated. That's the the Musashi Industrial Space Concern version of their base building. So I would love to see that with these different manufacturers who build bases or make bases. Yeah, the BLD. We might see some form of it with that little floating surveyor. So we'll do small sample sizes. I kind of suspect we'll see base building when they introduce the new Nix systems, the 2 planets, to build it out with the new Genesis system. We may get that at some point before the end of year, especially with IAE coming up, especially with we're not getting a Citizen Con. I think there's enough features that can kind of get us focused on the gameplay and the updates to Star Citizen the game, as opposed to wanting to say, I want to hang out, I want to do this. But I think with impending announcements and possible release of Squadron 42, I think it's smart for Chris to have everybody on that one focus, and that is the release of Squadron 42, and basically making sure that if that game isn't perfect, he has a full staff at his beck and call to say fix, 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 scrub, scrub, clean up immediately, so that they have everyone available just to make sure things are right. But at the same time, they get a break too, because look at the pace that I think it's more appropriate to say they're not having a Citizen Con, because for the mere fact of they've been putting out a lot of content and updates, I mean at a serious pace this year. It would be great for them not to have for the work balance. That would be great for the company. Have a break, but at the same time, if there's some things in your department that needs to be cleaned up based on some things that we're going to release, potentially Squadron 42 or the new changes, the major changes, and what that will do with the current status of the game, then work on that. But we're not going to be doing this big event this year because we're going to be focused on Squadron 42 and the new changes with the persistent universe. I'm looking forward to Squadron 42 for sure. Yeah, they've been through that. Oh no, you're right. but we weathered this storm. We've weathered this storm before, and it's one that we've I don't want to say we're accustomed to it, but we're definitely um, we're definitely aware of that and its potential of how it could kind of stagnate progress for the game. We aware of that, but also we also aware of they've come quite a ways from 318, 3.0, 3.1. Those days where it was really rough. Um, but I think we understand that as they add more features, what comes with that comes disruptions to current gameplay style. But I would, like I said earlier, get as much as you can as far as a new feature in, ride it out, ease the bumps, ease the rockiness, level it out, and then just exhale for a little bit, add some features that's not going to be disruptive, and then give us a break on the new features, constant grind of that, and the constant bug chasing to get that experience normalized. I think I think the key to it, to what I'm saying, or the point I'm making is, I think once we get an updated version of crafting and a proper version of base building in, I think they should take a pause and then go back to what they were talking about earlier about the QOL, the quality of life side of it, where they start cleaning up, optimizing and stabilizing, and then let us get acclimated to playing the game with base building. And then once things are settled and it's pretty stable, then go back to adding the major features that's needed for the game. I think that's a winning formula. That's going to help us in the long run. I think that's a good thing. But as long as we're looking forward to new features, expect bugs. We don't know what the intensity will be. Some play nice, some do not. Well, let's say quite a few don't play nice at all. But we can't let it get to a point where it makes the experience unplayable. So nothing's getting done, because then we're not properly testing either, which that needs to be done as well, so that we can identify more bugs, potential bugs. Yeah, it's learning, it's building the engine. The engine's not complete, not by a long shot, based on the things they talked about recently. They've got quite a ways to go. And, the whole process of NPCs and the intelligence side of it, bring it up to a level where they actually, really challenge us on a consistent basis, not where they take breaks with T poses and things, or they start to cringe. It's just more of, they're very, very precise when they need to be in situations, but also they have a sense of intelligence to them. And so their impact would be ones that it makes it feel even more real. I was going to do one hyper run mission, but I don't know if I will have enough time. No, you don't. I wouldn't mind joining you, but I think I'm going to call this one. And I'm going to take a nap and get up and go back at it again. But this was good, and I want to do that character reset. So this is good. This is a good stopping point. But yeah, I guess some point before the end of the week, we're going to see some improvements. I think definitely after the event is over, it's going to be a huge improvement. But at the same time, I come away from that with the mindset of it's a lot of unfinished work because every time I don't want it to be where they have these events and then we got to be cautious about gameplay. I want, and I think they feel this way too, that they're going to have the right combination of back end support that will make sure that whatever event or whatever we're doing as far as pulling in more people into the game will be able to support us and continue to be stable. So I'm looking forward to that. Oh, that would be cool. I know, but I'm gonna get some shut eye. But if you see me, man, please don't hesitate to ask because don't aren't there blueprints awarded for that? I definitely would not mind doing that because I want those blueprints for sure. Definitely look me up. Yeah, for sure. I'm all about those blueprints, man. They got me hooked. I'm hooked on those blueprints. Especially, I want the Corbel Meyer armor again. I thought it was gonna. Well, I guess it's gonna be that way until we get to 1.0, and then those blueprints will be like really the real deal. They're gonna be with you. So yeah, those different types of armor and such, and it's another one that I'm looking for. It's for the Paladin. Is that what is it called? The Paladin. It's the green one. I gotta have it, man. I gotta have it. But yeah, I'm gonna call it. I gotta get a little shut eye. I'm half mast, man. I'm like, but oh 07, thanks for hanging out. I have all of the blueprints on the Hyperion mission. I did it to do the other ones for those blueprints. Yes, please hit me up on those. Oh 07s, everybody, for sure. I'm gonna take a wink or two, and I'm gonna get back up and get a little more streaming in. But for sure, oh 07s. Thanks everyone. Oh 07. Now is where I add the intro, outro music to my stream. And here we go with the outro music. Ooh, 07. All about that bottom line. 07. See you all on the next one. Peace.